Dear students, see last time in lesson number 7, that is system of particle and rotational motion, we talked about torque acting on a particle. As I discussed earlier, torque is a very important physical quantity in producing rotational motion. Okay, it is analogous to work in a linear motion. To produce linear motion, we require force. To produce rotational motion, we require torque. Now, in the lesson number 5, we talked about linear momentum. Now, here, analogous to that is a angular momentum. We talked about angular momentum also. Now, next is a very important relation, that is relation between torque and angular momentum. So, next question we have to discuss is see, this can be asked in a 2 marks question. Okay, relation between torque and angular momentum. Okay, now see, we have derived L is equal to R cross P. Okay, R is a position vector about the origin and P is a linear momentum. Now see, we take derivative with respect to time on both sides. Okay, so dl by dt. See here, two functions are in multiplication. Okay, so in that case, when we have to take derivative, we have to use the chain rule. Okay, that is the rule of multiplication. See, it will be like this: d by dx of fx and gx. See, these are the two function in multiplication. So what is the rule? First function as it is derivative of the second, okay, plus second function derivative. First function as it is derivative of the second, derivative of the first function, second derivative. This is called the chain rule. Okay, see, those who are in the mathematics will be knowing very well. So again, whenever there are two functions in multiplication and we have to take derivative, see, fx derivative is f dash x and gx derivative is g dash x. So first function as it is derivative of the second plus first derivative of the first and second as it is. So same thing we are going to use here also. Okay. Now see, r as it is and we take derivative of first, second. First function is r is a position vector, p is a linear momentum. Okay. And now derivative of the first, that is dr by dt into p. Okay, r as it is derivative of p with respect to time. Okay, and derivative of r multiplied by linear momentum. Now we know dp by dt is force and dr by dt is velocity. Okay, so we can write r cross f plus v cross p. Okay, now see, we have proved earlier torque is equal to r cross f. So r cross f is torque. Now v cross p. Okay, now p is equal to mv. So v cross mv. See, as we have discussed earlier, I cross I is 0 or j cross j is 0. Okay, similarly a cross a also was 0. Why? They are parallel vectors. See, the cross product is ab sin theta. Theta is 0, sin 0 is 0. Here also v cross will be 0. That's why this product will be 0. So here r cross f derivative, r cross f is nothing but torque and v cross p will be 0. So we can write like now also r cross f is torque. So dl by dt is torque. Okay, so see, the time rate of change of angular momentum is equal to torque. Time rate of momentum of a particle equal to torque. Okay, so dl by dt is torque. Okay, that is the time rate of change of angular momentum of a particle is equal to torque acting on. See, in an analogous equation, okay, dp by dt, see the rate of change of linear momentum is force. Similarly, that was in the linear motion. Similarly here, see the rate of change of angular momentum of a particle is equal to torque acting on the particle. So this is how we can derive the relation between torque and angular momentum of a particle. Now see here, we talked about single particle. Now we have to obtain similar relation for system of particles. Okay. Now we know angular momentum is a vector quantity. Now see, we can write capital L is a total angular momentum of a system of particles. So we can write L1 plus L2 plus. Okay, now we know very well angular momentum is a vector quantity. So in that case, Li, or we can say I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, see here it is in summation. Okay, total angular momentum of a system of particle is L1 plus L2 plus Ln. So that is a summation of angular momentum. See the vector sum. Okay, so we can write here sigma Li. Okay, now see L is equal to R cross P. See angular momentum of rth particle, we can write Ri cross Pi. Okay, angular momentum of the rth particle. Okay, we can write like this. Okay, so here see the total angular momentum sigma I is equal to 1 to n Ri cross Pi. Okay, where I is equal to 1 to n. So we can write for the first particle and then second particle, and we should have a vector sum. Okay, now see Ri cross Pi is, we know the if I take derivative here, dl by dt. Okay, if I take dl by dt of this, so will be d by dt of L. Okay, okay, now that will become write as now we can use the similar method. Okay, similar method for the all particles from I is equal to 1 to n, and we can prove that see the dl by dt is torque. See here, capital L, we have taken the total angular momentum of system of particles. So just as we prove for the one particle or a single particle, see this we can prove as a torque. Okay, okay, so this is a torque acting on the ith particle. But see the torque acting on the rth particle. Okay, we can write like this. Okay, now see the torque acting on the ith particle, we can write Ri cross Fi. Now see the here the torque is made up of two parts, external torque plus internal torque. Okay, now but see by Newton's third law of motion, see the sum of the internal torque, okay, between the particles, among the particle will be cancel out each other. Why? Because torque is R cross F, and if I talk of the internal forces among the system or particle, see by Newton's third law, action and reactions are equal in opposite direction. They have got the same magnitude, but the direction will be opposite. So resultant of internal force acting among the system of particle will be 0. Okay, and if the force is 0, then the internal torque will be 0. So we can write like this. on particles due to internal forces among okay. Tau internal we have taken as a torque acting on a particle of system due to internal force among the system of particles. But by Newton's third law of motion, resultant of internal forces. Okay, now here see dl by dt is torque. See it is summation of torque from I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, particles torque internal is Ri cross Fi. But see the total torque acting on the system we can consider is the external torque, that is because of the external forces. And internal torque, see the torque produced due to internal forces acting among the system of particles. But by Newton's third law, resultant of internal forces is 0. Okay, resultant of internal forces is 0. So we can write internal torque is 0. So the torque acting on a system of particles is only because of the external forces. Okay, so this external force we can write as sigma I is equal to 1 to n Ri cross F external. Okay, so this is about the torque acting on a system of particles. And see again, so this L dl by dt we have to use is equal to torque. There is an external torque, that is summation of I is equal to 1 to Ri cross F external. So here also see the time rate of change of angular momentum will be equal to external torque. Okay, and torque we know again is R cross F, so we can say Ri cross Fi external. See the I varies from 1 to n. Okay, so this is about the angular momentum of a system of particle, and see the time rate of change of angular momentum is equal to external torque acting on the system. Okay, so this is we can prove this. Now next is the equilibrium of rigid body. Equilibrium of rigid body. Now in lesson number 5 we talked of equilibrium of body. Okay, there is a equilibrium of concurrent forces. Now here see we have to talk of the equilibrium of a rigid body. Now see the let F1 F2 Fn be force acting on system of particles. Now this also we consider as the external forces. This also we consider external forces. Now and see the resultant of, we consider let resultant of forces is 0. So in that case write F is equal to F1 plus okay. Now see torque formula is R cross F. Okay, torque formula is R cross F. Okay, but see if the external force is 0, then the torque acting on also will be 0. So if resultant of external forces 0, then torque will be why? Because the force acting on a system of particle is zero. Okay, now this we can write in terms of summation also. There is a total torque. See, this I want to write in the form of summation sigma I is equal to 1 to n pi. Okay, so this is a condition of a rotational equilibrium. Okay, this is a condition of a rotational. So we can say, see, if the resultant torque acting on a rigid body is zero, if external torque rigid body zero, then body is said to be rotational. Okay, now in the linear motion we talked about equilibrium, resultant force was zero. Okay, and here when we talk of the rotational equilibrium, see, if the resultant external torque acting on a rigid body is zero, we say the rigid body is said to be in a rotational equilibrium. Okay, now this is about the rotational equilibrium. Now earlier we derived the equation for a torque acting on a single particle. Now next we have to derive the torque produced due to a couple. Now let us say, what is a couple? See, two equal and opposite non-collinear forces constitute or a form couple. Yeah? Two equal and opposite non-collinear forces constitute a couple. Let us say force is F1. Now this is a line of action of force. Now this is force F2. See here, F2 is equal to minus F1. Yeah? See, the magnitude is equal, but direction is opposite. So we can write force are of equal magnitude, but only they are opposite direction. Also non-collinear. Why? If they are collinear, like this F1 and F2, then resultant of these forces will be zero. Then instead, in that sense, the body will remain in the equilibrium. Okay, so it cannot produce the torque. So here, see, two equal and opposite non-collinear forces, okay, constitute a couple. Now next we have to see about torque acting due to a couple. Let us say, see, a particle P has a position vector R1, okay, with respect to origin. Let particle at P has position vector R1 with respect to origin. Okay. Similarly, particle at Q position vector okay. See, the particle at P has a position vector R1 with respect to origin. Particle at Q has a position vector R2 with respect to. Now, see, F1 and F2 are forces. F1 and F2 are force acting on particle at P and Q respectively. also F2 is equal to minus F1. Okay, F2 is equal to minus F1. Now let us say, see F1 is a force acting. Okay, now we can say this is a line of action of. Okay, now okay, now see here also we can see these forces are of equal magnitude in opposite direction and they are non-collinear. Now see the Q has a position vector R2 and P has a position vector R. So we can see F2 and F1 are of equal magnitude but in opposite direction. Now see the torque produced because of the couple. Okay, torque is equal to tau 1 plus tau 2 is equal to R1 cross F1 plus, okay, torque formula is known to us. First particle position vector is R1, F1 is a force acting on it. Now here F2 is minus F1. So we can write R1 cross F1 plus R2 cross minus F1. Okay, so we can write R1 minus R2 cross F1. Okay, R1 minus R2. Okay, now see we can find out the distance or a perpendicular distance between the two particles. Okay, we can find out the perpendicular distance between two particles, okay, by trigonometry. Okay, so now the torque acting on due to couple. Okay, now torque due to couple is equal to, see the perpendicular distance between two particles and magnitude of one of the force. Okay, so the torque acting due to a couple or a torque produced due to a couple is equal to, see the magnitude. Why? Because F1 and F2 are force of equal magnitude but they are in opposite direction. Okay, and by the geometry of the figure we can find out the perpendicular distance also. Okay, now see we can obtain the perpendicular distance by geometry. Okay, now so this is about the torque acting due to particles. Now next we have to talk about moment of inertia. Okay, now see linear motion we require mass. Similarly, to describe the rotational motion we require moment of inertia. Okay, now see rotational kinetic energy. Okay, rotational kinetic energy we can relate with the translational kinetic energy. See what is the formula of the translational kinetic energy. Now here we consider a system of n particle. So the kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mv square. Okay, so if I write for the number of particle it will be mi vi. Okay, now see here rigid body rotate about the fixed axis. Okay, that is axis of rotation. So we derive the relation v is equal to r omega. Okay, see this we talked about in the beginning of the lesson. See their perpendicular distance of the system of particles, let us say r1 r2 will be different, but see for a body rotating about the fixed axis of rotation, omega will be same. So here Vi we can write, okay, so kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mi. Okay, now see we can write some, see here we are talking of different particles. See the total kinetic energy sigma ki, okay, see the kinetic energy of nth particle 1 to n. Now this we can substitute here 1 by 2 I is equal to 1 to n. Now what we can say here, omega is same. Omega is same for all particles. So 1 by 2 omega square we can common. So for I we can write I is equal to 1 mi Ri square. Okay. Now I is equal to 1 will get m1 r1 square. I is equal to will get m2 r2 square. Okay. Now this summation, okay, sigma mi Ri square. See we can write like this. See it will be m sigma I is equal to 1 mi Ri square is m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus mn rn square. Now this term, see the m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus mn rn square is called the moment of inertia, okay, of a rigid body about given axis of rotation, okay, about given axis of rotation. So this term m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus mn rn square is called I, that is the moment of inertia of rigid body about given axis of rotation, okay, about given axis of rotation. Now see generalized formula is I is equal to mr square, okay, generalized formula we get that I is equal to mr square for, and see if I write unit, okay, see what is our equation, I is equal to mr square, that is a generalized formula, okay, mass is in kg, distance is in meter, so unit will be kg meter square, okay, see the dimensional formula, mass is m1, okay. Now see important thing, the same body, okay, the same body can have more value, more than one value of moment of inertia. Why? Because see the value of moment of inertia depend on selection of axis and second distribution of mass, okay. See the value of the moment of inertia depends on the selection of axis and distribution of mass, okay. So that's why the same body can have more than one value of moment of inertia. We can say, take it like this, let us say first we consider this as the axis of rotation. So in that, about that axis it has a formula moment of inertia r1, but we can have another axis for the same body, that is a reference axis. Then see the mass of the particle will remain same, okay, mass of the particle will remain same, but see the perpendicular distance will change. So that's why we can say the same body has a different value of the moment of inertia. So hence we have to remember, see the value of the moment of inertia of a body depends on the selection of axis and distribution of mass within the body. Now see in the linear motion, kinetic energy we studied 1 by 2 mv square. Similarly, see the rotational kinetic energy is 1 by 2 I omega square, okay. Now see m1 r1 square plus m2 rn square plus mn r square we called capital I. So our equation has become, see the rotational kinetic energy is 1 by 2 I omega square. See the value of moment of inertia depends on distribution of mass and selection of reference axis. So this is about moment of inertia. Now see in the next lecture we will see how the value of moment of inertia for different geometric shape. Okay, varies. Now today we talked about, see, the relation between torque and angular momentum. Okay, we talked about angular momentum of a particle. Okay, now angular momentum of a system of particle. Also we talked about law of conservation. We talked about the rotational equilibrium, okay, for a rigid body. Okay, in the case of linear motion we talked about equilibrium of forces. Okay, now here in the case of rotational motion, if the resultant external torque acting on a rigid body is 0, then the angular momentum remains constant. So, and finally we talked about moment of inertia. See, it is analogous to mass in the linear motion. See, next lecture will proceed further. Thank you.